You've heard the story a million times, right? The self-made success who pulled themselves up by their bootstraps. It's one of the most powerful stories we tell ourselves. But what if I told you the world that even made that story possible just doesn't exist anymore?
Okay, so let this one sink in for a second. They might have gathered money, but they didn't succeed. I mean, that sounds nuts, doesn't it? How can you rack up a huge fortune and somehow not be considered a success?
Yeah, it's a fantastic question. It pretty much flips everything we think we know about wealth and achievement on its head. So, to really get it, we've got to jump in a time machine. This really boils down to a tale of two completely different generations. You've got the one that basically invented this whole success story myth, and then you've got, well, us, the ones who are playing a totally different ballgame. Oh, you know the type. The classic entrepreneur, probably in their 50s or 60s now, telling everyone how they built an empire with nothing but grit. In Korea, they call this jasasunga, the ultimate self-made person. But here's the kicker. It wasn't just about their hard work. The real secret ingredient, it was the time they were living in. So yeah, to get their story, we have to travel back to what you could call the age of scarcity. See, in Korea before 1988, the economy was a different beast entirely. It wasn't about outcompeting anyone. It was all about demand, pure and simple. Back then, the formula for getting rich was, well, it was almost laughably simple. You had a growing population that wanted stuff, but there just wasn't enough stuff to go around. So if you could make anything, and I mean literally anything, you were golden. You already had a market waiting for you. The big challenge wasn't marketing or sales, it was just, can you make enough of it? It's just common sense, right? You open a noodle shop in a town that barely has any restaurants, what happens? You got rich. Profit wasn't just likely, it was pretty much a sure thing. And it wasn't just for food. Same deal for information. You start printing books for a society that's just starving for knowledge, yep, you got rich. This even worked for the absolute basics. Let's say you were one of the lucky few who had a license to sell rice. Guess what? You got rich. See, the key wasn't being the best. It was about being one of the only ones doing it. And then, 1988 happened. The world showed up on the doorstep. And just like that, one single event flipped the switch and changed all the economic rules. So before '88, Korea was basically a closed shop. Most goods came in slowly by ship, which meant supply was always low. But then came the Seoul Olympics, and that forced the doors wide open. All of a sudden, planes are flooding in, packed with products from every corner of the earth. Scarcity? Gone. And what replaced it? Practically overnight? Insane, fierce competition. And that one shift, it created the world we're all living in right now. Welcome to the age of abundance, where the rule book is completely different. Okay, so this is the absolute core of it. Back then, the problem was not enough stuff. Today, the problem is a massive, crushing oversupply of stuff. You can make the most amazing product in the world, but it just doesn't matter if there are 1,000 other amazing products just like it. The whole game has flipped. It's not about production anymore. It's about just trying to get noticed in all the noise. Think about it like this. In the old days, if you were the only guy in town selling apples, you were basically a king. But today, if the store's out of apples, do people freak out? Nope. They just grab some mangoes, or bananas, or one of the million other choices they have. Consumer choice is basically infinite now. And believe me, that changes everything. So if that old, easy path to riches is gone, what in the world does success even mean today? How do we define it? And this is where we circle right back to that crazy quote from the very beginning. This is where we get this powerful idea of the warehouse keeper. This is someone who basically got rich by default, just by being around in that age of scarcity. They've got all this money piled up, but they have no clue what to do with it. So they just guard it. They're not using it to create anything new or valuable. And now, all of a sudden, that quote makes total sense, right? You may have gathered money, but you did not succeed. Just hoarding cash, being a warehouse keeper, that's not success anymore. In this world of abundance, money isn't the trophy, it's the tool. So what's the new definition of success? Simple. It's not about how much you can pile up. It's about what you can do with what you have. It's about looking around, finding something society actually needs, and using your unique skills to contribute. It's about creating value that helps other people, and when you do that, you get something way more valuable than money. You get respect. And that, my friends, is the real success. The main takeaway here is pretty clear. The
the goalposts have completely moved. That old myth of the self-made hero who got rich just by making a thing, that's a story from a different time. Today, your success isn't measured by your bank account. It's measured by your impact.
And that leaves us with one last big question to chew on. In a world that's already overflowing with stuff, the real opportunity isn't just making one more thing. It's about figuring out what society truly needs, and then being the person who steps up to provide it. So the question for you is, what's your contribution going to be?